So here we go again, and this article is this article is from theguardian.com, and here's the photo that relates to it. So we can see, I guess, robotic hands trying to massage, I guess, the head of a lady. I say massage. Often when we go, if someone goes to a massage, when I'm on holiday, I might do that occasionally. They do have a rolled up towel sometimes as the pillow, and they might have herbs and spices, perhaps for the smell or to rub into your body in certain places or whatever. Okay, so let's get on to the article. Here we go. So here it is here. So it's titled, I got a robot massage and lived to tell the tale. There we go, in The Guardian. And it appears that Madeleine Aggeler is the writer. It was written about a week ago, this month, about a week ago. So let's scroll down. The photo appears to come from The Guardian and Getty. So it then says another title, Can One Really Relax While Being Prodded by Large Robotic Arms? And the actual title and the title for the photograph we just looked at is a massage from a machine as good as a massage from a person? Composite, the Guardian, the Getty image. So when it says composite, so what does composite mean? Anyone know? Composite? Composite.
Maybe it's from composition.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, that's they're related. So when you talk about composite, there's a few different meanings, I guess, but you're sort of saying more than this thing is made up of more than one other thing. More than one person, you might say, has brought this thing together. So they're implying this photograph here, I guess there's two elements, I would imagine. Perhaps an element from The Guardian and an element from Getty Images. Getty Images is basically a library of millions, or perhaps even billions of images, probably a very large number of millions of images. So I would guess maybe the lady comes from Getty, and maybe the Guardian is stuck on the hands, or the other way around. I don't know which. So that's what I would say composite means here. Composite. Let's get going. So the first person in was Giuseppe. So over to you if you fancy giving it a go at the top there. So I am alone. It goes.
I am alone in a dimly lit room, splayed face down on a table. Megan, three stallions, Mamushi is bumping from a speaker, and on a large screen, two white circles roam up and down an outline of my body. Am I at an exclusive German sex club at 2 a.m.? Sadly, no. I am in a suburban shopping complex on a Tuesday afternoon getting a massage from an escape robot. Escape describes itself as a pioneering lifestyle robotics company that is revolutionizing the wellness industry by introducing exceptional massage experiences. Put simply, they make robo-masseurs, cushion tables with two large, white robotic arms that rub your body based on your preferences and pre-selected programs.
Thank you. You've ended there. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, anything there that you want to ask about, or questions, words, meanings, pronunciation?
Mm, Not really, as
Okay.
vocabulary is quite easy to
Yes, pretty clear.
say.
Um, so there's this word here. I think you said it. I think you said it quite well. How do I? Just how do I pronounce it? So let's put it in the dictionary. Let's cheat. I do that occasionally. So I would say this is masseuses. Masseuses. And I think that's what you said actually, masseuses. But that I think that's the feminine way. I think that's the feminine way of writing it. So let's see if they back that up. And don't always, do they? Yeah, so a masseuse is a woman whose job is to give to give massages. So there's two ways. This is the American way. So I think I'm saying the American way. I'm saying masseuse. Did I say masseuse? I can't remember. So this is the American way.
Masseuse.
Yeah, masseuse. But the British is the ending is completely different. So let's listen to this one.
Masseurs.
Yeah, masseurs, masseurs. And an S on the end would still be plural. So let's listen to the plural,
Masseuses.
which is quite kind of sounds quite weird, doesn't it? So are you okay saying it both or hearing it both of these ways? So we heard you can miss out the American one, but we'll play it anyway. So that's
Masseuse.
masseuse. I'm more used to that one personally. Um, so do you want to just practice the English way or the British way for a second? So here we go.
Masseurs.
Masseurs, masseurs.
Masseurs.
Oh, absolutely perfect. And the S, make it a plural makes it even harder, I think. But we'll leave that one. We'll leave that one for the moment. So a woman in particular. So and it doesn't. I was hoping it might mention the man, but of course it doesn't. But even if it was the man, the ending here is different. So what would it be? So it's actually I put it when we go back to this article up here in the title. I did actually put it the English way. So this is the masculine way. Whoops, over here. This is the masculine spelling. So it's EUR on the end, basically. Let's type that in there. So, but it sounds basically the same. Let's listen to how they're saying the English lady, feminine version.
Masseurs.
Masseurs. Let's listen to the men's, or a male, let's say. So, is it there? I think that's it. Yeah, my spelling has improved, I think. Oh yes, it's come up. So a masseur, yeah. So a masseur is a man whose job. This time it's a man. Give him a massage. Let's listen to this one.
Masseur.
Oh yes, it's slightly different. You can definitely hear the R on the end there, can't you? Masseur, masseur. It sounds almost like monsieur, doesn't it? The male of the German, the French monsieur. Do you want to practice that a little bit? If I just play it again for you, then do you want to try saying the word? So Giuseppe. So I'll play the sound for you now.
Masseur.
You'll go, Giuseppe.
Masseur.
Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Yeah, the R might be slightly strong on the end. Let's listen to it again.
Masseur.
Masseur. She's. I don't know how many British people I hear say it that way. I think most British people say it the way that I just heard you say it. So we're sort of a bit. She sounds almost French the way she's saying it, doesn't she? I would suggest, but so I'll leave because I think it does come to us through the French, doesn't it? I think. But basically, a masseur is somebody who gives a physio, effectively, or it's the same meaning as somebody who gives a massage. Um, okay, so let's go back to this then. So there we go. So they put the feminine one in there, and it's a robot. So I'm not quite sure. And maybe this word here too. Actually, I think we tend to pronounce the T on the end. So every time we say robot, we always put a T on the end. Robot or robotic. There's always a T there. We always pronounce the T. Um, and so this word here, I think when you said this one, it came a little bit more the Italian way, I think. So not the British way is pioneering, pioneering, or we miss out the ing. So just pioneer. Do you want to practice that once or twice? Pioneer.
Pioneer. Pioneer.
Yeah, pioneer. That's it.
Pioneer.
Ah, that's even better. That's the best one yet. That's really good. Yeah. Um, okay. And I think you said this one too. So correctly. So normally, if you're trying to escape from a closed, you're locked in a room and you can't escape, and you do escape, that's the way we would spell it there. But this is the name of the robot, I think, or the company that makes the robot. And yeah, and so but it is escape effectively. AE together is escape. Um, maybe I think when you said club, the sound didn't sound quite right. That word there. I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that word. Do you want to just say it again for me? Club, club.
club,
Yeah,
club,
yeah, yeah. That's it. I think you can. It's just. I think it's just has a little frog in your throat. Just you need to clear your throat slightly, maybe. Megan. Meg, I think it was. Yeah, so mamouche. I don't quite know how to say. I've not seen this word before. Is it? I'm not sure what that even is. Oh, it's a piece of music, isn't it? So Megan Three Stallions Mamouche. I think that's how you would say that. Mamouche. I think that is. I think you said that quite well enough, sort of thing. But I can't remember when you got into this word. Something happened here. So could you just show this word again for me, maybe? It's in yellow.
bumping, bumping,
Yeah, maybe it's the vowel sound there. Yeah, I think you're there. I think I would understand it without really trouble. So I would read that as bumping, bumping.
bumping,
Y- Yeah, yeah, that's good enough, I think. It's just the vowel sound. I think a little bit between A and the U. What I think of an A sound, and if it was an A there, I would pronounce that as bamping, bamping. But with the U, I would say is bumping, bumping. And I think you're slightly towards the A, but 10% towards the A. It's just that when I listen, I think, what was that? What does that word mean? I think that's the problem, I guess. But it's still very clear, really. Bumping. So do you want to just do it again? So bumping, bumping.
bumping,
Oh yeah.
bumping,
Oh, you can't get it any better. That's just perfection now. That is it. Um. Oh, I think when we said so there was robotic masseuses, and I think it was this. I think it was that word there. Do you think just rereading from there again, sort of a thing? So it's those two or three words there, which you've just done, hopefully. So a bit of practice with that. So they make that yellow bit. Thank you again.
they make robots masseurs, fashioned tables with two large, wide robotic arms that rub your body based on your preferences and preselected programs.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. The sound broke up a little bit in my headphones. I didn't quite catch it, everything. So, so cushioned. I think you said that pretty much. So cushioned, cushioned.
Or more cushion with cushion.
Say again, sorry.
Yeah, I said cushioned
Okay, yes.
instead of cushion.
Coo, yes, it cushion. That's it. You've got yes, it. And I think I misled you here a little bit. So, um, so masseuses, isn't it? Yeah. So masseuses. I don't think how to pronounce that just then. So masseuses, and of course robot, robot. So small gap, then a bot, robot, and robotic arms. Yeah, great reading as always. Thank you. So, anything else you want to ask about this little bit here? I think that was it. Yeah.
Revo- re- Revolutionizing. Revolution, revolutionizing. It's a correct
Um,
pronunciation. Oh, no.
so this word here, so revolutionizing, revolutionizing, revolutionizing.
Revolutionizing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it. Revolutionizing. That's right. So very big changes are being made, is what they're saying, in the industry by introducing exceptional massage experiences. Sometimes with the word massage in English, within the English culture, there's a slight feel of this could be about sex. This could be about sex. Indeed, it mentions sex up here, doesn't it? So, am I at an exclusive German sex club at 2 a.m.? No, sadly, no. I'm in a suburban shopping centre complex. So, if you say you went for a massage, there's like a 10% part of my mind says, "Oh, what do you mean by massage?" It sounds like So if we say you've gone to a massage, a little bit of my mind says, did you just see a sex worker and for sex and pay them? I don't know, whatever you pay them. There's a slight idea of that in the back of my mind. But obviously here, that isn't really what's in my mind. And obviously, I guess in this article, they're playing on that little bit by saying, am I at a German sex club? Um, but I suppose if you're saying you're having a massage and you don't want anyone to get that wrong idea, probably say you're having massage therapy maybe, or you're having a physio and massage is essentially the same thing. But if you say massage, there's that slight 10% or even 20, 30% idea into some people's minds. Oh, is this to do with sex? In the back of their minds. They might not say it out loud. And really, I suppose really, if you find a massage shop in the UK, there is a chance that it is probably a sex worker there, I would suggest. Or at least there's that option. I'm not saying that every single one is. And I think probably they say something like to avoid that, they avoid the word massage if they don't want anything to do with that. Okay, I don't know quite why it went into that one. I probably shouldn't have done that. A little bit of the underbelly of British culture there. Okay, so well done, Joseph. That's very good, as always, in fact. So, and the second person in the class today was Elena. Elena. So
Ага.
over to you, Elena. So I love massage. It starts this, or massages, I should say.
I love massages. I've never happier than when the profane flesh sack I call my body is being kneaded like Wagyu beef. So I opt for a 30-minute power up, which costs $60 and promises to leave me feeling invigorated and alert. According to the Mayo Clinic health system, massage therapy can help with a number of conditions, including anxiety, depression, sports injuries, digestive disorders, headaches, and soft tissue sprains. It can also improve circulation, strengthen the body's immune response, lower stress levels, and increase energy. But is a massage from a machine as good as a massage from a person? There are so many contraptions out there. My mom has a massage chair and I use a Theragun at home, says Krista de la Garza, a board certified massage therapist in Colorado. While there can be value in their tools, de la Garza says she is not worried about a robot coming for her job.
Okay, that was good. Very good. Well done. Very nice. Anything you want to ask about that there, or
Sorry, say again, please.
any questions you have? Anything you're not
Any
sure of? Any
questions?
particular words, or must practice that
One
word, or
one
meanings?
word. I had a problem with pronunciation.
Uh-huh.
Found it.
I probably noticed that, I think. But
Mhm.
which one was it?
Strength.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I thought actually I was probably going to say that was very well pronounced. I thought that was good. I
Strengthen.
like that. I like that.
Strengthen.
Yeah, yes. So I say you had it. That when you're slightly better when you read it out than just now, I would say. So strengthen, strengthen.
Strengthen.
Yeah, yeah. When you read it out as best, that was the best one. Strengthen, strengthen. Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll come back to that one to practice it again. But you're good enough, I would say. Anything else there? Hmm. Anything else you want to ask about there? Or anyone
Contrap
else? Sorry?
Contraptions. Meaning of
Oh, yes.
contraptions.
Yeah, the pronunciation when you read that out was just about spot on, I would say. You probably couldn't get any better. So contraptions, that's it, contraptions. So it says there are so many contraptions out there. My mum has, etc., etc. So the contraption really are these devices that they're talking about. So a massage chair, that's an example of a contraption, the way they're using the word. Or this, I've not heard of this before, theragun. Theragun. I think I don't know how to pronounce the word, but I think you pronounced it quite well. Theragun, I think you said it. So whatever a theragun is, I don't know, but it's some sort of a machine or a contraption that presumably gives you a massage or helps, gives you a little bit of therapy or some aching part of your body, I guess. So a contraption is any kind of a machine or device, normally something physical. So it wouldn't really be like, say, a software con configuration or something. It has to be something, normally something physical, a sort of a machine that does something. A contraption, a machine. With also within contraption, it seems slightly. Well, let's actually. I keep talking about it rather than just searching it. So let's just search the word and see what it says. Sometimes it really comes up with something very interesting. Not always, though. There was a slight feeling of, so yeah, a contraption. This is the AI overview. A contraption is a device, gadget, or machine, often one that appears. Oh, yeah, this is the point I was going to get to. Slightly awkward or complicated or old-fashioned and not well understood. The term can be used for mechanical or electronic devices. So you might plug this device in to give you a massage, in our case, and carries a connotation of something that might be a bit unusual or jury-rigged, like a, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, there is this idea of it's slightly overly complicated. It probably little doesn't, a little bit unnecessary maybe. And so we go back to the article. It says about a massage chair. It sounds like a complicated device, doesn't it? Have a chair that actually gives you a massage. It's not simple, is it? And again, I don't even know what a theragun is. So that's contraption anyway, and it's plural in that case.
Mhm.
Aragon is kind of percussive gun.
Oh,
Like
yes.
like a gun, you can
Mm,
attach your muscles,
mm,
and mm, it
It's a gun massage.
yeah, kind
mm,
of a set of impulses, and yeah, it's a kind of
mm.
massage.
It has a capital T, so it does sound like almost a brand name or something.
Probably yes.
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
and there they are using it. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
just as you would say. So he seems to have it over, I guess, the muscle that's giving him trouble here in his leg, and they've all seem to have it on the leg, don't they? That's, I guess it does any muscle, I imagine, or pretty much any muscle. Interesting looking thing, and it's only 100 pounds to 300 pounds. That's all they are. Not very much, are they, for a massage? But I guess if you have an injury and it isn't going away, you're very tempted just to spend money on it, aren't you? In America, well, let's try to sort it out. Okay. Okay. So, any other questions? Anybody else about this little bit here that Lane has read out? Any other questions from anyone else? Any simple questions?
Oh, yeah, here we have alert, and
Yeah.
is there
Invigorated and alert.
yeah,
Hmm.
is there a difference between alert as a noun and
Hmm.
alert as a verb, or vice versa, of course?
Let's have a look. So alert a neighbor, alert message. So word forms. Uh, so a noun and an adjective, but also verb transitive there. So whoops, let's go up to the top of the page. So let's listen to how they. No, it doesn't appear to be any different way of pronouncing it, but it wouldn't surprise me in the past if there was maybe.
alert,
Yeah, alert. Its T is very strong there, isn't it?
alert,
Mhm.
Alert. I think it's overdoing it, but
Mhm.
alert,
alerts. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Mainly an adjective and a noun. Where are we? Okay. So no is the answer to that one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Okay, so I don't know what Wagyu. I don't know how to pronounce that actually. I don't know what Wagyu beef is, but I guess it's Japanese. It sounds like a Japanese way of cooking beef or producing it, sort of thing. Um, so it says when it says needed here, what does that mean, Elena? What does needed mean? I think you pronounced it very well, that word. So needed. What does it mean though? Do you know?
Uh,
So
maybe it's a mixed.
mixed. Yeah, I
Ra-
suppose. Yeah,
Mash.
you.
Yeah.
Mm, it's possible. Um, when you're sometimes when you're making bread, you can knead bread. You do knead it. So that is something you're doing to the bread. So what are they doing to the bread? And it can be a lot like mixing. So how would you describe the process of kneading? Is that
Rub, mash,
sorry?
rub, mash.
Yeah, it's kind of. I don't think they mash it because I think you get different kind of effects in Britain anyway. In the UK, if people are making bread and it's less not that common nowadays, I think it's a particular kind of action, and it's very similar, if as if you were perhaps massaging someone's sore leg muscle, perhaps. You sort of rub your the heel of your hand up and down their sore leg, let's say, in a sort of a caring fashion, obviously, not just carelessly, and pressing down at the same time. And that's pretty much exactly the same thing you do when you're kneading bread. So you work the bread, I think you're trying to put air into it and mix it up when you're kneading bread. I think trying to put air into the bread, and that air that goes in there, those air bubbles, I think
Mm.
expand when you're cooking it, and so the bread rises. Or it helps to me. Maybe I'm talking rubbish here. I don't know. I'm sort of guessing a bit here. um, so kneading is a bit like when you're having a massage on a sore arm or sore leg or something. It's that same sort of action that people do. So that's what the word needed means. And they're saying here, so if I just read that little bit again. So I love massages. I I'm never happier than when the profane flesh sack I call my body is kneaded like Wagyu beef. So I opt for a 30-minute power up which costs $30 and promises to leave me feeling invigorated and alert. That's it. Um, so I've noticed that it's $60, not £60, which is
$60. Yes.
yeah.
But anyway,
So
expensive.
so that says us really it's probably in America. This article is written from an American perspective. And if you go down here, it then says this thing here about a board certified massage therapist. Well, we don't have anything in the UK. We would never say this a board certified. That one phrase alone says, America. It's definitely America. I hear that. Apart from the dollars. And then it says this name here. So how would you say this name here? So this is a place in America, isn't it? How would you pronounce that
Uh,
name?
I think it's Spanish surname is Garza.
The bits
Mas-
in yellow. I highlight it in yellow. So just above
ah,
Gaza.
Colorado.
Yeah, that's it. So that's a place in America, isn't it? So is it a city and a state,
I
Colorado?
think
So
it's
Colorado State. I think there's two of them, isn't there? But I might be wrong. So do correct me if I'm wrong. So we normally say Colorado. In the UK, we say Colorado. I think you're making one of these O's into an A, perhaps. Colorado. I think you said at one occasion, maybe. I might be wrong. So do you want to try again? Colorado. Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah, you're getting there. That's it. You're getting there. And I think originally this was probably a Spanish name. I think so. And
Mhm.
you mentioned about this name here, Gaza. Yeah, Gaza. Anything else? There's-
Nothing else.
Okay.
The meaning clear.
Um, and also, I sent everything yellow now. So just at the top here, when I'm trying to highlight and getting it
Mhm.
wrong. So I would pronounce this as, well, the whole line there is according to the Mayo Clinic Health System. So we say that as Mayo, Mayo. So if you're a bit lazy and you want some mayonnaise, we might say mayo. But the Americans tend to say mayo all the time. In Britain, we might say it just occasionally, mayo, but we tend to say mayonnaise. But here, this is a place in America, and it's basically world famous. Mayo is world famous as a health center.
Mhm.
Um, trying to think of anything else. I thought it was a little interesting. So it mentioned all these different problems here, like anxiety, depression, and in the third line, it ends with this little bit here.
Mhm.
So what does that mean? That phrase in yellow. I genuinely don't know what that is. Does anyone know what that is?
Soft tissue sprains. I think it's
Hmm.
some problems with muscles.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's the soft tissue bit, your muscles, and I suppose you could say your veins and arteries, and your brain is soft tissue too, you might say. But I suppose it's the muscles, really. I hope. But when you say let's search the word sprain. Let's just search it. I just had copy, but let's search it. So, what do they mean by sprain? To me, that's the same as a break. So, oh, that's interesting. So, a sprain is a stretch or tear in a ligament, the tissue that connects bones to joints, and is caused by abnormal forces on a joint. So, yeah, you can overwork the joint or something like that. Let's go down to the dictionary part here. Okay, let's hear them say sprain. That's how we say it, sprain.
sprain,
Yeah, and in English accent too. There we go. So, wrench, twist the ligament of an ankle, wrist, or other joint violently so as to cause pain, swelling, but not dislocation. So, dislocating a joint is really quite serious and hurts like anything. Um, and the noun is the result of a sprained joint. Sorry. Oops. Oh, I clicked and nothing happened. They don't know where the word comes from. Okay. Oh, I've learnt something there. Um, um, where's the word? Oh, strange. I was wondering, how are you with this word here? I thought you read the word out, but I can't see it in the bit that you read. So, are you okay saying this word here, Elena?
Masseuses.
Yeah, that's the American way. And I think that's the easiest way, isn't it? Masseuses.
Masseuses.
Yeah.
Masseuses.
So the more British way was more like yeah, masseurs. But masseuses just sounds easier to me, I think. That's the American way. But the gentleman, that's a lady massager. A lady gets a massage, and the gentleman is spelled slightly different, isn't it? It's more of just ends with an R on the end there. Okay, I can't think of anything else. So, any other question from anybody else, or you from yourself, Elena?
I have a question.
Hmm.
You said that a board certified is related, it's
Hmm.
United States, Americans
Hmm.
pronunciation. And how in Britain,
Hmm.
call the certified, call the person with license?
License.
Certified site,
Um,
certified person, certified specialist, or another.
I believe there are certain groups of massage therapists who have got together and they've sort of given themselves certain standards. Oh, you must have trained for so long, I suppose. I'm guessing now, I don't really know. That they have to train for a certain length of time, I should say, a certain length of time. But it's not official. So, but when it says a board certified, this sounds sort of semi-official in that the government has said that this board, the board might be a group of doctors or therapists who work in this area, that they produce a certain qualification that other therapists need to attain or get to. So that sounds official when they say it, but in Britain it's not official, as far as I'm aware anyway, with massage. But if it's physiotherapy or and I think also say chiropractor, I should say, and similar things, I think that perhaps they're on the verge of giving them a sort of government sort of qualifications they have to get to. But I think even at the moment in Britain, in the year 2025, I think they're still in a situation where they sort of just organise themselves. Okay, we agreed as a group of massage therapists or chiropractors, whatever the group is, that we'll get to this level, let's say 4 years or 1 year of practice at this level, and then you can call yourself, a grade 1 therapist or something, or whatever it might be. But a lot of it, as far that I can see, is sort of unofficial. And you can probably tell by the price of it in the UK. So let's say £40 an hour sounds very inexpensive. And what I have noticed is that if you go out of the country somewhere, you might notice someone offering this service. It tends to be lower than when you're in the city. So in the city, it tends to be a bit more expensive. Yeah, okay. So I'm not an expert on this. So some of this is guesswork, or what I understand to have been the situation, say 10, 20 years ago, but it might have changed, but I don't think so. I'm not an expert on this, I'm sorry to say. But if you're going to call yourself, say, a sports physiotherapist, I think to be a physiotherapist, I think you probably do have to get some qualifications with that particular terminology. But just massage, no, as I understand it. I could be wrong. So, any other questions? I guess we'll just roll on because I'm spending a long time on this, and that's okay as long as it's helping. So, massage chair. So I think we got to there. So this is the bit we haven't read. So, is it okay if you start from here, Michael? So first, there are real. Okay, you'll go.
First, there are real physical benefits to being touched by a person. During the early pandemic, for example, when people were isolating and social distancing, many reported feeling skin hunger, a sense of deprivation and abandonment that comes from not getting enough physical touch. A 2024 paper in the journal Nature said that receiving touch was of critical importance and found that touch interventions help reduce pain and feelings of depression and anxiety in adults. The paper also found that touch interventions from objects or robots resulted in similar physical benefits, but lower mental health benefits. It's a powerful theme to be touched safely and appropriately and therapeutically, says De la Garza. In fairness, Icescape's website says it is not about replacing therapists. Instead, it's about enhancing their work and addressing the industry's labor shortage.
That's interesting. So, yes, anything there you want to go back over again? Check the meaning or the pronunciation that you particularly noticed or want or require?
I think the letter V in word interventions. Maybe.
I didn't notice really. I didn't particularly hear that. Say again, sorry.
Interventions.
Yes.
Intervention.
Is that in the first paragraph? I didn't notice where it was.
In the second,
Second paragraph, okay.
Second paragraph.
It didn't strike me. I was sitting there, yes. It didn't strike me when you said it, but maybe I missed it. So you're saying it now reasonably well, I think. Interventions.
Interventions.
Yeah, the V is the V in the middle of the word here. You're okay with saying those ones, I think, at the moment, it seems. That's good. That's good. Interventions. I guess it's the start of a syllable, isn't it? The interventions. Yeah, that's good.
Appropriately and therapeutically.
Yes, I was going to say, yeah, I was going to say that little quote there, maybe the whole that quote there might be worth reading, and possibly the one below as well. So yeah, but you're pretty much there, but it does need a little bit of help, maybe. So maybe if I just read it back to you, and then you read that little bit again. I'll read it now, maybe. So it is a powerful thing to be touched safely and appropriately and therapeutically, says De La Garza. So appropriately and therapeutically. So you'll go.
It is a powerful thing to be touched safely and appropriately and therapeutically, says De La Garza.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. That's absolutely perfect, really. Appropriately and therapeutically. That's really good. Good, well done.
And one word,
Mm-hmm.
abandon place, abandonment.
Oh, yes, I did notice that. Yeah, so abandonment, wasn't it, I think? Was it abandonment?
Abandonment.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so yeah, that is there. Yeah, yeah, you're pretty much there, but just slightly out. So abandonment. Am I saying that correctly myself? Yeah, abandonment. So I think I missed out the bit there. So abandonment. So abandonment.
Abandonment.
Yeah. Let's stick it in the dictionary and get their slight on it. Yeah, abandonment. Yeah. There we go. So let's listen to them.
Abandonment.
Oh, very, very slow. Abandonment. I don't think anyone says it that way, but so that was very good though. Listen again.
Abandonment.
Abandonment. No one ever says it that way though. So abandonment. Abandonment, I would say. So it just speed it up a little bit, I would guess. So memories of her father's complete abandonment of her. That's how it would be said. Let's listen to them here.
Memories of her father's complete abandonment of her.
Yeah, that's perfect, I would say. A slightly odd voice, but it's obviously a computer voice, isn't it? So desertion, leaving, forsaking, jilting. Often if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you leave them, you might say jilting or jilted. And yeah, abandoned, same idea as abandoned. That's good. I love this idea of skin hunger. I hadn't heard of that, skin hunger. When you feel this lack of sensation of being touched or whatever. So that was really all I noticed, actually. I noticed abandonment. Any other words you want to ask about there, or the meaning or pronunciations? Or anybody else have any questions there? Anyone else? Just ask out, just call out. Actually, it might be worthwhile perhaps just rereading this little bit here, because that sort of follows on from the one we read just above, isn't it? So if I read this one to you now, Michael, if you just read it back too, perhaps. So So to carry on, I think it carries on that quote, doesn't it? So in fairness, Escape's website it says it says it. Sorry, it's not about replacing therapists. Instead, it's about enhancing their work and addressing the industry's labor shortage. So do you want to read that again, if that's possible?
In fairness, Escape's website says it. In fairness, Escape's website says it. It's not about replacing therapists. Instead, it's about enhancing their work and addressing the industry's labor shortage. Shortage.
Mm.
Shortage. Shortage.
Yeah, yeah,
Shortage.
shortage. Yes, yeah, that's it. Shortage. So I'm sort of saying shortage, tige on the outside. Shortage. That's it. So the tricky words, I guess, maybe the STS there. I think that's good when you. I can understand it. So therapists.
Therapists.
I think.
Therapists.
Yeah, I think you pretty much have that. I would say might be a little bit of practice maybe. And the let's just stick that in the dictionary. So how is the AE pronounced at the beginning? There is a little bit of probably variety of way how you might pronounce that. So I'm not sure how, but I would say it's just makes an effectively an E sound. Let's listen to how they pronounce it here.
Eh.
Eh, what was the word again? Escape. Yeah, and admittedly, this is the Scottish. It appears to be determiner. So it could also be. I think that's eh.
Eh.
Yeah. So let's listen. That's the only one where they. So a diagraph or Latin representing the diphthong, as in aqu aqueous. So am I saying this correctly? I'm thinking now. So in America or American English, or more of an E. Let's listen.
E,
Oh, E.
I,
Is the American way. There's actually three possibles here, isn't there?
Eh?
Yeah. Eh? Um, why do we get to the British version? There's no British here, is there? And the Scottish, the American. I know. Let's just search. Let's just search Google. Oh dear. The thing with Google, it'll probably give us more the American again, won't it? It tends to give a little bit of the American slant on things, really. And again, this is now it's New Zealand. New Zealand? And they're saying it's Maori for, I don't know, yes. I. Is that I? Is that I? Is it? I can't tell. I.
I,
Yeah, I. I escape. I can't be certain how they want you to pronounce that word, but I would pronounce that at first glance as escape. Escape. Well, in this place, it's ownership. So there's an S on there. There isn't a possessive. So, but I would accept other people with other sort of weird pronunciations. So, but let's go with escape for the moment. But if you say it another way, I'd probably say, okay, you're probably right. More because my lack of understanding. But often when a business invents a name for their product, they sometimes they spell it slightly unusually or put an unusual, just exactly like this situation here. So you're not quite entirely sure how to spell it or how to pronounce, I should say. So, and there are lots of other examples, aren't there? In the sort of the .com age, people come up with these business names, and they're not quite proper English. They're sort of similar, and you have to, and it makes you look at the name a little bit longer and wonder a bit more about the business, I guess, and consequently, you might buy the product, I suppose. Okay. So the other word I think I noticed was, I think you're splitting the syllables up slightly differently to how we do in English. So we say this word, if I should pronounce it, robots, robots. So row and then bots, I think we're saying robots. Do you want to give that a go? Because I think you're just splitting it up slightly differently. Or emphasis we're giving.
Robot,
And again, sorry.
robots.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I would say, yeah, robots. Yeah. So when we say robot, we're thinking about a machine, a contraption, as we said before, and in particular, I guess these are the robots here in this photograph down below. These sort of strange things here. I guess these are effectively arms that come over and work your body. These clearly look like robots. But if it was just if they missed out the RO at the front and it was just bots, what would that then mean, Michael? Do you think? What would that mean? So it's basically it's still robots, but they missed out
It's
the RO. What would that mean then?
bot. It's
Mm.
also originally from robots. It's like,
Yes.
and it's some program we call
Mm.
bot, who uh, artificial intelligent chatbot,
Yes.
and it's like
Yeah.
construction maybe a robot bot.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. So let's listen to the word how they say it here.
robot,
Robot. But the American they have it slightly differently. How do they say it?
robot,
Robot. I don't know. Do they really say that?
robot,
Robot. Robot. Maybe some do. Maybe some do. I think it's not quite as common as you might. The way that I think they're sort of slightly misrepresenting it there. I think. Um, so here we go. So the word came in the 20th century using R.U.R. A play by this chap here, and I can't pronounce the name, from Czech, Roberta or Robota, maybe work related to Old Slavonic Robota, servitude, German, Arbeit work. Arbeit. Is that Arbeit? I don't know how to pronounce that German word. So as you probably well know, it's a Slavonic word originally, or comes from the Slavonic, I should say.
We have the word robota.
Robota. Is that how you say it? Robota.
It's work. It's work. It's meaning the work,
Ah,
or job,
work.
or the same job.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously very, very insightful, the writer, to bring us this word because it's absolutely vital nowadays, isn't it? Let's think of any other words there. Is this all that you read? Oh no, another paragraph above, wasn't it? Okay, so let's think. What other words were there? So we did abandonment, something else. And I think actually it was this word here actually. So if I just if I just reread that sentence to you, and then just reread the thing back. So, but particularly is that word where my cursor is. So the paper also found that touch interventions from objects or robots resulted in similar physical benefits but lower mental health benefits. So you'll go again. So it's paper, I was thinking in particular, but you'll go.
The paper also found that touch interventions from objects or robots resulted in similar physical benefits, but lower mental health benefits.
Yeah, I think you read that better than I did actually. Yeah, so we'll do this first couple of words again. So the benefit. Sorry, the paper. The paper. Once again, maybe the
The
paper.
paper, the paper,
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Spot on.
paper.
That's it. You couldn't be better at it. And I also was highlighting the because I think there's a little bit of a tendency to say there. It's sort of some people do say that I think for the or the, but in England, in the UK somewhere, but most people say the or the. That's it. But you've got it basically. You have got that. And I think that was it. I can't think of anything else. Any other questions for anyone else? Any other points or anything? It's interesting that they've gone for the feminine, I would say. So a robot masseuse. I'm reading the American way here. Made by Escape. It could be Escape or Escape. We're not quite sure on that. Courtesy of Escape. Would any of you guys go for a massage from a machine like this sort of a setup? Let's have a quick look at that photo. Let's go to this one here. That's the photo there. Would any of you be happy to lie on this bench here and pay $60, I think it was, for an hour?
It depends of what your uh, it depends
Hmm.
what would you like,
Hmm.
because it's not all people like the massage.
Hmm.
It's only I don't know how it's pronounced, kinesthetic or
Oh,
kinesthetic
kinesthetic.
kinesthetic type of people
Hmm.
who likes when someone touch to uh, their skin. Uh, this type of people, kinesthetic type of people, likes the massage, so they
Hmm.
very often uh, tend this buy some special uh, some contraption. Contraptions.
Well done, well
Yeah,
done.
because there are also visual and audio types there, don't like.
Hmm.
I think I quite kinesthetic type of people, so I like when someone touch my
Hmm.
and I don't know, pet me.
Pet you, did you say? Pet you?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's
Yeah.
maybe it's
Well, if you're with
not.
your partner, then you just might pet each other, sort of, something similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I never visit the
Mm.
massages.
Mm. Yes,
But I have stable for massages in my
uh,
apartment.
a stable.
Table,
Oh,
desk
table. Oh, sorry, massage
table,
table. Yes.
because I have some I don't know, some license, and my wife also have a license
Oh,
uh,
really? Mm.
for this procedure. It's when we studied at university, you can
Mm.
pass some exam and have license to do this procedure.
Yes. Yes.
Not license. License is when you open a private office and license, but you have permission to do massage.
Mm. So can anyone open a shop and offer massage? Do you think in say where you are, or do you have to have a license? You have to have a license. You sort of implied you have to have a license.
No, I have a permission. I
Oh, but
have
can
a
anyone say I was say I lived in your country and I had no job, and thought, hey, I'll just be a massage. I'll do massages. Can anyone do massages, or do you have to get a license or something? Do you have to get a license, or you're not sure? Or...
if you would like do this procedure legally, you have to.
Oh, legally. Oh, there's an illegal. Yeah, let's say legally.
If illegally, many people many some medical workers,
Mm,
uh, or like you said, chiropractors, so do this procedure at home, and have pay on the table uh, for this procedure.
mm, okay. You've said procedure a few times. If I was making up a sentence, I probably wouldn't say procedure because when we say procedure, it sounds like you're having an operation with the doctor. So the doctor might have a scalpel and they're opening you up and doing that. That's what we tend to think of as a procedure in the UK. But in this particular case, we might say this therapy, this, I don't know, probably therapy, we'd say, or we'd say just put massage in there
Okay.
rather than therapy.
Yeah.
But possibly just therapy. Probably therapy, much as anything. Um, so anyone else? So thank you, Michael. I think that was very good. Very enjoyable what you said there. Very enjoyed that. So anything else from anyone else?
Just to reply to your last question, for example, in Italy, we have physiotherapists, we have chiropractics or osteopaths who
Yes.
are allowed to have this kind of approach with patients, but also there are kind of massage centers managed by, most of them managed by Chinese people, and I think they have just the commercial license, but
Wow.
nothing else. So I think they have no academic titles to practice massage therapy. And coming back to the robot, I think there is a limit, because I do not believe this robot has kind of feedback from its action. I mean, if you have a knot in your muscle, or you have maybe a triggered zone in your body, I don't know the robot understand what is happening under his hands. And but a physiotherapist, for example, can sense exactly every fiber of your muscles and change his or her approach to your body. So I think it is a critical point, because you can refer some specific treatment, and the robot does so without any feedback or empathy. So probably you can only push a red button and stop the massage if you have problems. But with a physical presence, you can talk about that and maybe send specific messages, and so to drive the massage in the best way possible.
Interesting. You said hit the red button.
Yeah,
we
somewhere
don't
there
see
is,
a red button, but I guess I know what you mean.
yes, somewhere there is a button to stop the
Yes, yeah. Emergency stop, we might say.
yeah,
That's it.
the contraption, because
That's interesting, very interesting what you said there. So I have had therapy, chiropractic therapy and others for injuries, etc. And I do remember them asking, say, so they go through your history. They say, "Oh, are there what injuries have you had?" And they go back through the last 20 years of your life, saying, "I broke my arm or something, or whatever it is, or I've got a very sore leg at the moment." And they will avoid that leg, or they'll be very delicate when they get to your leg, or whatever the issue is, or your back or something. And I would like to think with the robot also that someone programs it, miss out the back entirely, or whatever. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Will they understand just what they're doing? Are they gentle enough? Are they? And I definitely have had people say, "Is that too hard?" when they're working an injury, and they say, "Oh no, it's a bit. You could be a bit harder. Or it could be a bit softer," as they're working an injury in your arm. And I definitely had a chiropractor, and this is 20 years ago, or even longer. He pointed out several things to me where I had an injury, and I wasn't aware. And I thought that is brilliant, I think. And one thing, a couple of, I thought, is he making this up? But then there was one thing he pointed out, but I think it was basically the straightness of my spine, and he sort of tried to straighten it out. And I was in less pain when I left, and I think it was basically related to what he highlighted, and I wasn't aware of the injury. So I was very impressed with that chap, very, very impressed.
Yeah, and also the picture depicts these two arms working not on skin but on sort of fabric, or and there is, and I think also every health professional has also kind of talent and kind of specific touch. It could be a nurse, a doctor, or a therapist. I think this is something essential and important. Just to give you a very personal example, my second son works as an osteopath and is attending a course for physiotherapy at university just to expand his knowledge. And when he was a teenager, you know, in a family sometimes, so please massage my neck or massage my shoulder because I have some ache or pain. And when he was a teenager, he had some properties in his hand. So when he used to touch me, I felt the temperature, the warmness of his hands, and
The
maybe
warmth.
yeah, exactly. But the same thing made from my daughter or the other son wasn't the same. So maybe they tried to do a massage with love, but the touch of my son's touch was completely different. So sometimes you have nature gives you some properties, and they are important when you are in contact with others, I think.
Yes, a skill or a talent. That's it. Particular talent. They're particularly gifted in that regard. That's interesting, isn't it? Some people don't have it, and some people do. Fascinating. So, Elena, any comments about this at all?
Yeah,
This
I'm
photo?
still here. I'm just listening.
Yes, of course.
Very
Yes, but
interesting conversation.
fascinating. I'd love to give this a go. So, but would you give this a go, Elena? This machine here, if you had the money and you're in America, I think it's an American device, isn't it? I think I would like to give it a go. Would you?
No, definitely not. I
Oh,
would
really?
like
No.
it looks
Why
like
not?
a hoofs, like a horse's hoofs.
They do. They do. Yes. Yeah. These end bits, like the hooves of a horse. That would be so painful. I hope they're sort of rubbery and soft, and they're nothing like the hoof of a horse. The hoof of a horse is very hard. It's basically almost like an aggeler, similar to the fingernail of a human, but much thicker and harder. And there is that slight fear that they might go out of control and do something
Yes,
they weren't really meant to do, but they go ahead and do it anyway.
I think I would have some thoughts in my head always. I can't control this machine.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. Giuseppe very cleverly mentioned the red button. I think there must be an emergency stop button, a red button as such.
So you can't
But we
relax
can't see
during
it. But we can't
massage
see it.
because
So,
I
so
like
yeah.
go to massage and always I I fall asleep during massage. But if if I would trust this machine, so I can't fall asleep, I have
Yeah.
to hold my finger on this red button, so I can't relax completely. So
Yeah. Yeah, it would be in my hands too. I wouldn't let it go. Yeah, very true. But I'd be going, for me, I'd be going there, I suppose. I would only go if it was like for particular injury, perhaps. A work injury from overdoing something or in my arm or leg or something. Yeah, I think if it's for sort of relaxation, and to sort of ease away the worries of the week and at home or whatever, because obviously you might go to a massage to ease your tension in your body as much as anything, mental tension, emotional tension as much as anything. I don't think a machine would do that at all, but and that contact with another human would help with that, isn't it? So I think they'll be useful, but not, but only 10% of cases or 20% of cases. I'd like to think the other three quarters would be a human would be working the injury or whatever it is. Yeah. Yes, I agree with you,
one
Elena.
advantages, you don't have to give chips to these massages.
But there'd still be presumably a human that would tap in how long a massage you wanted, or or how strong. Because I think you're sure you can ask. I'm sure I had someone say you can have it soft, medium, or hard. I think they said something like that.
Mhm.
And so the strength of the massage, I'm presuming they must tap in how hard it is. Or then again, they might have a little control that we can't see on this photo, where you might turn up the strength of how hard they're working your injury. So another twist on the knob, and they work slightly harder, perhaps. But I would have them start very gently anyway, myself, very gently.
Yeah,
Very gently.
actually, there is the red button. I Googled for
Ah,
escape message and
yes,
images, and there is a
yeah,
picture, just the panel where you can
yeah,
choose your preferences, and there is a red button.
yeah. That's good. Oh, so you choose your preferences. But did you, maybe I should have searched this before, but does it mention anything like if you have an injury and or a bad leg, let's say, or a bad foot or something? Um, I have had a massage and they actually worked my foot. And of course there's something called reflexology, where
Mhm.
essentially in reflexology, every part of the foot reflects to another part of the body. It might be your head or your heart or some other part of you. And you work that part of the foot to ease some sort of condition you might have elsewhere in your body, your arm or something, or your lymph glands or something. I'm not quite sure exactly how it works. It is Chinese, I think, rather than. I think it originates in in the Orient somewhere. So, have any of you guys ever had reflexology to explain? Because I'm sort of guessing to a degree.
Yeah, yeah, your definition is perfect.
Oh,
So
oh, right, okay,
yeah,
okay.
sometimes the session can start with a massage of your foot or your feet, or sometimes uh, it finishes with a massage of your feet. So it
Mm.
depends on the orientation of the therapist.
Oh, they can do it. Yes. Oh, no, when I was on the other page, I think I noticed to one side somewhere there was a little comment. I can't think where it was, or it's off the page now. It said a lymph node massage, perhaps. Where was it? Oh, here we go. Yeah. So, what is lymphatic drainage massage, and why do celebrities love it? Has anyone had a lymphatic drainage massage? I could click it and see what happens. So,
Yeah, I don't know why you can have this massage by your
hmm,
hands or with a kind of pneumatic
machine. Yeah.
machinery. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it is good because uh, toxins and other fluids
Hmm.
that are into soft tissues are removed, and so you have more tissues, more elastic, more also oxygenated. And I don't know if Michael wants to add something to my description.
So this is the lymphatic drainage massage. I think the answer is no.
No,
We can't,
no.
if you're saying anything, we can't hear
Ah,
you.
you're waiting. You're waiting to my comment. No, I agree with Giuseppe.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. This is quite an evocative picture. It's very well done. A brilliant photograph. That is, I think.
But I'm sure it's only for kinesthetic people, because some people can't bear when someone touch to them, and these
Touch
people
them. Just touch them.
touch them. Yes, and these people can't uh, they can't relax. And the main idea of the massage is that
Yeah.
you have to be relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
and so some type of people like it, and have, I would say, some type of people, types of people like it and have more benefits than others,
Mm.
because they can relax, be be relaxed
Mm.
and pleasure with.
I hadn't really thought about it before, but you sort of raised an interesting idea there. So it touches on massage, it's sort of vaguely to do with massages, but it's this idea of some people are kinesthetic and others are less kinesthetic, and so they
Yes.
require, or perhaps they're anti-kinesthetic. So let's look up the word kin. Well, there's kinetic. Let's look up kinetic. I'm not quite sure how to spell kinetic. So let's see. Perhaps we'll add it in there. So kinetics to do with movement and touch, isn't it? Movement and touch, I think, isn't it? So in physics, kinetic is used to describe something that is concerned with movement. So kinesthetics, I'm assuming that's related. I'm trying to go down, but it's rather lucky. So let's listen to the word anyway. So kinetic. Oh, she didn't say anything.
kinetic,
Thank you, Mister. I've forgotten what we're trying to do now. Sometimes down the bottom of the page they have similar words. Right. So kinesthesia, kinesthesia. There's an e there, isn't there? So what's the word? I forgot what the word we're looking for. Kinetic, and I can't pronounce most of these words. Kinetic analysis, kinetic art, kinetic energy, kinesthetics, wasn't it? I think you said So is it this word here? So that's kinesthesia. Let's look at this word then.
Aesthetic.
Kinesthetic.
It's
Okay.
I don't know. It's I know it's theory how people perceived the information. Some people like kinesthetic perceives information from touch, from
Oh, that's interesting. Yes, that's true.
sensation, movement,
Mm.
smell, and emotions. Visual type uh, perceives information by uh,
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
imagine
yeah. Or
how
images or pictures. Yes.
these
Yeah.
images, these pictures, and some people say look, and when they something tell you, they often use look, see, auditive use listen, uh, hear this, kinesthetic, feel, imagine. So
Okay. So yeah, kinesthesia. So don't we give a definition?
Kinesthesia.
Kinesthesia. Click on that there. There seems to be numerous ways of saying it.
Kinesthesia.
Kinesthesia. This is kinesthesia before, didn't he, I think? So we're saying kinesthetics, aren't we? Oh, well, we do with movement here, but kinetic. Oh, I can't seem to bring the page down. Well, anyway, I hadn't really thought about the idea of some people are much more open to it and need touch more than others, or they appreciate it more than others, and some are almost not frightened of it, but they are more reluctant to, more liable to reject touching or move away from it, or do less touching, I guess. I think that's true, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's very true. So there's some people like touch. So what would you say the people who don't like touch so much, someone less touch? What word is that you would say that they would describe them? So you might call them not quite so kinesthetic.
No, they perceive information by audio
Oh right, yes, yeah.
or vision. They, some people relax by
Kinesthesia.
looking to the sky or beautiful scenes and have more benefits.
Okay, yes. Okay. Let's go back to our photographs then, our pictures and articles. Okay. Right. Dear, so, oh, I see what's going wrong. There we go. There's our photo again. So it's nothing like these hands here at all, is it? It's more like those horses' hooves, as Elena pointed out. But if ever sort of Escape finds this on YouTube, they might not be very happy, but I don't mind what they think. Well, I think we'll call it a day there. We're sort of nothing else to say. So thanks very much for coming. See you later in the week if you can come again.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Nice conversation.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care.
Yeah, same to you guys. Bye bye.